The war between Donald Trump and Greta Thunberg is heating up. Following her deportation from Israel back to Europe after the Sumud flotilla she was a part of was intercepted by the Israeli military, Greta Thunberg was slammed by the President of the United States.
Arresting and deporting activists that were traveling to Gaza. Today, Greta Thunberg, for instance, also some...
Well, she's just a troublemaker, you know. I mean, she's no longer into the environment, now she's into this. She's a troublemaker. She has an anger management problem. I think she should see a doctor. She needs anger. If you ever watch her, she's a young person. She's so angry. She's so crazy. No, you can have her. She's just a troublemaker.
Thunberg then clapped back on Instagram saying, "I heard Donald Trump once again has expressed his very flattering opinions on my character, and I appreciate his concerns for my mental health." To Trump, "I would kindly receive any recommendations you might have to deal with these so-called anger management problems, since judging by your impressive track record, you seem to be suffering from them too." Online commentators had mixed reactions, with this commentator saying, "At least his anger resulted him in winning 2 elections and becoming the most powerful person on our planet. Your anger has got you arrested more times than I can count and has inflicted practically no change worldwide. See the difference?" But others reveled in Greta's attempted Trump takedown, with this supporter saying, "Trump attacking Greta Thunberg again shows his insecurity. She speaks the truth to power, while he mocks a young activist for caring about the planet. Dismissing her as angry says more about his ego than her integrity." The feud erupted after Greta Thunberg joined a flotilla of activists headed for Gaza to distribute aid outside of the official channels. Thunberg has been a vocal activist for Palestinians, slamming Western governments since the start of the war with Israel.
Okay, let me be very clear. There is a genocide going on in front of our very eyes. A live-streamed genocide on all of our phones. No one has the privilege to say we are not aware of what is happening. No one in the future will be able to say we did not know. Under international law, states have a legal obligation to act to prevent and to stop a genocide from happening. That means ending complicity, applying real pressure, and ending arms transfers. We are not seeing that. We are not even seeing the bare minimum from our governments.
AJAC Executive Manager Joel Burney slammed Thunberg's stunt, calling her a narcissist.
Well, it's clearly a stunt. Let's put a few things into context. So firstly, the flotilla had no aid. So they were claiming that they were coming to deliver essential aid to the enclave. There were many offers by the Israeli government and by other European powers to offload that aid and safely deliver that aid to the Palestinian people. There was no aid. This was entirely a PR stunt created by a little narcissist, by Greta, who wants to make herself the center of attention, whilst all the other good motivation and momentum generated by President Trump's plan is being forgotten by these activists who care little for the Palestinian people and care nearly entirely about the delegitimization, the demonization of Israel. She is an attention-seeking troublemaker, as the president says. She is a narcissist who makes everything about herself and has no care whatsoever for the people of Palestine. The issues that I have with her is the amount of media attention that she gets. She has zero impact on this conflict. She has zero positive impact on the lives of Palestinians that she cares very little for. All she cares about is her own PR machine and her own narcissistic tendencies. And you'll see that through the rehearsed responses to what actually happened when they were detained. So all of the activists have collectively taken an oath to get behind this PR machine to do everything it can to discredit Israel. This was never about the Palestinians. This was never about the delivering of aid. This was entirely about Greta Thunberg and her useful idiots in generating PR for themselves. So I'm entirely happy with the actions of the Israeli government in detaining this flotilla. The fact if they were to make it to Gaza would set a terrible precedent, which would greatly complicate the current military actions in Gaza, and I don't think that the Palestinians in Gaza would want them either. So, this is just another stunt, completely for PR reasons, and please, you didn't get to say goodbye to your other captives, cry me a bloody river.
And whilst Greta and her activist friends were grabbing the headlines with their antics, Donald Trump put together a 20-point peace plan to stop the war between Israel and Palestine, which is looking to be the closest thing to peace in the region has seen in a long time.
I want to thank the countries that helped me put this together: Qatar, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, and so many others. So many people fought so hard. This is a big day. We'll see how it all turns out. We have to get the final word down in concrete. Very importantly, I look forward to having the hostages come home to their parents and having some of the hostages, unfortunately, you know the condition they're in, come home likewise to their parents, because their parents wanted them just as much as though that young man or young woman were alive. So I just want to let you know that this is a very special day, maybe unprecedented in many ways. It is unprecedented, but thank you all, and thank you all to those great countries that helped. We were given a tremendous amount of help. Everybody was unified in wanting this war to end and seeing peace in the Middle East, and we're very close to achieving that. Thank you all, and everybody will be treated fairly.
Negotiations are going on, but early signs are positive, with Hamas accepting some of Trump's peace plan, including releasing the hostages and handing over power to other Palestinians. Secretary of State Marco Rubio confirmed this momentum step forward.
I would view it in two phases in terms of understanding how to break this out. The first piece of it, which was very clear from the letter and Hamas's responses, they have agreed to the president's hostage release framework. And what needs to happen now, and they acknowledge in the letter in their responses, there now needs to be meetings which are occurring even as I speak to you now, and hopefully will be finalized very quickly on the logistics of that. What that means is, who goes in to get them? Is it Red Cross? When do they show up, et cetera? What place are they going to be? And the conditions have to be created for that to happen. You can't have bombs going off and fighting going on in the middle of this exchange. So that's piece one. The second, and we want to see that happen as soon as possible. All 48 hostages, both living and deceased. And there's some need to be released. And there's some logistical challenges to that we'll have to work through. But that work is happening even as I speak to you this very moment.
And Trump was in his usual form, boasting about bringing peace to the Middle East for the first time in thousands of years.
We have very little, we don't need flexibility because everybody's pretty much agreed to it, but there'll always be some changes. But the Hamas plan, I tell you, it's amazing. You're going to have peace, if you think about it, peace in the Middle East for the first time in, they say, really 3,000 years. So I'm very honored to be a big part of that. Look, they've been fighting for a plan for years. We get the hostages back almost immediately. Negotiations are going on right now. Will probably take a couple of days, and people are very happy about it.